is for our heritage, our tradition, our future. Today, we become.
In this episode of Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools Rugby, we look ahead to this Saturday's derby between rivals Bishops and Rondebosch Boys High School, live on SuperSport. Few schools will know each other as well as Bishops and Rondebosch. Situated in the leafy southern suburbs of Cape Town, Bishops and Bosch have played each other 185 times since their first meeting in 1911.
The great thing about these encounters, they're always closely contested. We're both the same fighting weight, as it were, in terms of size of our school and our philosophy towards the game. And so it's a game that we really look forward to, because both sides also played the game in the right spirit and in trying to celebrate schoolboy rugby as it should be.
Bishops is definitely a special occasion which all the boys and certainly us as coaches all like to be involved. It's a great occasion, but with it comes a bit of pressure.
Oh, it's huge, absolutely huge. It doesn't get bigger than Bosch Bishops. Just that whole game is absolutely, it's crucial, and all our energy is going into that game.
What we also do to make sure the day works is we send our head boy to them when they play here to invite the school across, and he speaks at their assembly, and their head boy will come here and vice versa. So we try and take the sting out of the game by telling boys it's a very special game, but enjoy it.
In spite of their many famous old boys, Bishops are better known for their unique style of play than anything else. The Platinum Blues are widely regarded as the kings of running rugby in the school game.
Bishops has this great tradition of running rugby, as you know, and then all kinds of special quirks, one being that the boys run on from behind the posts. They don't go through a tunnel or anything like that.
Bishops don't play with numbers, then the whole point is we're not really meant to think of our positions. We can end up anywhere on the field at any time, and we all have the skills to deal with that situation. And that's the nice thing about Bishops rugby, and it's hopefully a tradition that will carry on for a long time.
Half a kilometre down the road from Bishops lies Rondebosch Boys High School. Whilst Bosch are a strong rugby school, it is on the cricket field that they have excelled. In 2013, 3 Bosch boys were selected for the SA Schools team, equaling the record for the second most players from a single school.
Yeah, I think they've got a fantastic cricket program running here. They've got some passionate teachers that are involved in it. I think Rob Dalrymple, as the sort of master in charge here, has done a great job. And I'm still involved a little bit in the cricket with our foundation here, and it's lovely to be a part of it.
Rondebosch have produced many quality cricketers, such as H.D. Ackerman and Jonathan Trott. However, Gary Kirsten, the 2011 World Cup winning coach and former South African opening batsman, is arguably their most celebrated export.
I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed my time at school. Not so much in the classroom, but definitely on the sporting fields. And, you know, Rondebosch have magnificent sporting fields here, so many fond and lasting memories of the experiences here.
Gary has been a bit of a revelation to me anyway. I didn't know him beforehand. He's really interested in cricket in the school and getting involved in the cricketing aspect of the school, but also one of the passions that he's had, that he's expressed, is helping parents to be better supporters of the school. So on the sidelines, how do you support your son? And that's something that he's very passionate about as well.
Whilst renowned for his steely resolve and dogged determination with the Willow, Kirsten was a fine rugby player in his day, spending 2 years in the Bosch First 15 as a scrum half.
Bishops probably had the better team than we had in my last year in '85, and they beat us in the first game. But the second game, we weren't expected to win. They'd had a great season. I think only had lost 1 game in the season, and we had lost a few. But I do remember us being incredibly pumped up for our last game of rugby for our school. We played the game at Bishops, the last game, and I do remember us warming up at the school, the cricket change rooms, and one of our forwards banging his head against the door and breaking the door down. So that's how pumped up the guys were. And it was one of those games where, you know, Bishops played their normal style of open, free rugby, and we were a little bit more limited, but I remember we defended like anything, and we were able to turn turn the game around and pull off a win.
One of Kirsten's good friends from his early days at Bosch was another World Cup winner, Joel Stransky.
Gary, Kirsten and I played Western Province Primary School's cricket together. So when I went to Rondebosch Boys High in Standard 6, we knew each other from cricket. We then played in the same rugby team, we played in the same cricket team. And we became really good mates. In fact, so much so that when my parents moved to Moy River in September of Standard 8, I went and lived in Newlands Cricket Ground with the Kirstens for 3 months.
Yeah, we just connected. I think we both enjoyed our sport a lot, and he was also a keen cricketer. So we sort of went through the age groups together.
Kersey was always extremely talented, extremely talented. He'd whip me at tennis, he'd whip me at squash. The only thing I could whip him at was almost rugby. He was a great cricketer. But, you know, also, he grew up in Newlands Cricket Ground. So he had the tennis courts there and the squash courts. We'd kick balls to each other, you know, it was just that sporting environment. So, I mean, he's a ball player.
Yeah, I sort of try to play as many sports as possible. I really enjoyed all the different types of competitions that you had. And so I got myself involved in tennis. I also got myself involved in squash. But I would say that certainly from a summer perspective, cricket was #1 and winter rugby. And, you know, I played rugby all the way up to I was 26 years of age. So it was a real passion for me as well.
23-year-old Nizam Kar has set the rugby scene alight in 2014 as one of the country's premier loose forwards in the Super Rugby competition. The Stormers in Western Province Lucy attributes much of his success to the lessons he learnt at the famous Anglican school.
It was really a life change for me, and when I speak about Bishops, I really get emotional talking about it, and because it really made me who I am today. It was really something special and enjoyable. For me to go to Bishops from Mitchells Plain was a huge step up for me and something that I had to adapt to. But really enjoyable. You know, and I was in between the likes of Nick Costa. Well, he was my hero when I was at Bishops. Adrian Kritzinger, Nicola Zidis, Martin Mallow is playing for the Cheetahs now. So there's a lot of, good players that, grace the same rugby field for Bishops. So, and to be around players like that, you really learn a lot.
What a down-to-earth, wonderful boy. I mean, he would look at some of these boys when they complain about conditions or the warm-up wasn't good enough or something like that, and he'd look at them absolutely as if they were crazy and say, what is this all about? We must just go out there and play. And he is an absolute wonderful boy. And I really wish he goes all the way. He deserves it. Bishops really shaped out my career, and I can't be, more thankful for that. And, what they've done for me was really something special, and I'll always go back, and I'll never forget where I came from, and I'll never forget my roots, because they're part and parcel of, who I am today. Yeah.
The 2006 Bishops team is one that many will remember fondly. Known as the Dream Team, they were led by centre Adrian Kritzinger, who would later play SA Under-19 cricket.
He was an exceptional player, wonderful feet, wonderful offloads, and particularly a good leader as well.
Our 2006 year team was certainly a special year. We had some seriously talented rugby players in that year, and it was just, I was very lucky that I was able to captain a team that's kind of gelled so well, that were not only, tight on the rugby field, but tight off of it at the same time, and everyone was mates.
They beat Rondebosch convincingly in both matches that year, racking up 146 points, including a record 71-3 win in the first match at Rondebosch.
I remember our first game against Rondebosch where we played them away, and they had kicked the ball onto Michael Morris at the start of the game, and Nick Costa ran this unbelievable line and ended up breaking through the defences and ran the entire field and scored a try. So within 20 seconds we were 7-0 up, and kind of all the nervous butterflies had kind of run away, and the kind of moment of the moment, it was kind of like the moment of the match where everything kind of just clicked into place, and we were very fortunate and lucky enough that we played some superb rugby on that day and in our final game against Rondebosch, and ended up with quite a severe scoreline against them.
An exceptional side from 15-1. It'll be unfair to say that there were some superstars, but there were.
Yeah, Matthew Turner was an unbelievable rugby player. We were very fortunate that we had a guy like him in our team who could kind of, spark something out of nothing. I remember occasions when he would run in 5 or 6 tries in a game, and that wasn't out of the ordinary at all. And we were also lucky to have guys like Nick Costa who could do exactly the same thing.
But they all played and gelled as a team, and they were a very exciting side to watch. And they, as a pack, could pull wool over the big schools as well, and that sometimes helped. But they were an exceptionally skillful side, and they were also clinical. They weren't afraid of doing the dirty work. They were a good scrumming and line-out and rucking side, and put that all together, and you just had a wonderful season.
Bishops has been the dominant team historically, and it has been no different since the turn of the century, with 21 of the 29 matches in Bishops' favour. However, recent trends show that Rondebosch are due for a win on Saturday, after Bishops won the first fixture by some distance on the 21st of June.
The first game we won, and we are very worried about the second game because they played very well against us. The game turned, I think, on an intercept, so they'll be up for it, so we've got to be up for it, and we look very much forward to a very, very traditional Bishops Rondebosch derby.
Bishops haven't won at home since 2009, and I don't think Rondebosch have won at home since 2000, so it's a bit of a voodoo at the moment, playing at home, and hopefully we'll be looking to buck that trend.
Historically, away games always been the one to go for, so we're just hoping to do it again this year.
Bosch have struggled with their young team in 2014. However, a Bishops win is the light at the end of the tunnel.
It's not been an easy season. It's been a season of growth. Young guys coming through, and they've matured and developed very nicely in a very tough Western Province Schools League.
Bishops have had a bumpy season. However, 6 players were selected for the Western Province Craven Week team.
As a team, we've worked really hard to have a good season, and I think one of our goals was to put Bishops back on the map after 2 not-so-great seasons. I think we've done that to a large extent, and we've had some really good results and some results that didn't go our way. And I think personally, I'm also very pleased with the season, played all the games, so I think on the whole, it's been a really good season for us.
The 2014 Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools rugby season will come to a fitting close on Saturday, the 30th of August, when 2 of the country's finest schools will meet on the hallowed Piley Reese turf.
It's a massive fixture, massive fixture. Everyone in the school comes and watches. It's not even a compulsory event. Everyone just wants to come and watch. It's got a great brand of running rugby. You won't see that many kicks. You won't see that many kicks at poles either. Every team tries to go for the tries whenever they can, and it's something that's special about the fixture.
Today, we stand for all that is, for our heritage, our tradition, our future. Today, we become.
Watch Bishops versus Rondebosch in Mutual and Federal Premier Interschools Rugby this Saturday, live on SuperSport.